I ain't got no home, I'm just a roaming round. Just a wandering worker, I go from town to town. And the police make it hard wherever I may go. And I ain't got no home in this world anymore.
My name is Nick Thompson.
You can look at the camera, that would help.
I'm from New Kensington, and I came down to camp to support them in their quest against corporate greed. And also, I'm an anti-war. I believe I'm against war, and they're against war. They have anti-war committees here. I was in the Vietnam War, and I know what war is about. The reason I'm here is because of to make a long story short, these corporations are getting all this money, and people are losing their homes, foreclosures everywhere. I don't think it's right. Instead of helping the big shots, start thinking about the common working people a little more, and that's what these people pretty much stand for. Real energetic vibes here. I mean, you can feel it in the air. Tense too, at the same time. Tense, not tense, but tense. Tense. There are a lot of vets. As a matter of fact, I'm the only Vietnam veteran I know of, but there's a lot of Iraqi veterans here. For people who've never been in war, they can't even imagine what a nightmare it is. Which I'm glad. But, I mean, I'll say it anyhow. Like I was in the war. I seen dead bodies strung up from telephone poles, by meat hooks. I guess that'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it? And I seen. I was in a lot of rocket attacks, and you see people get killed. And that's a nightmare. It's still a nightmare sometimes. Yeah, don't go to the military. That's my main advice. I tell all the young people, don't go. I wouldn't go. You're going to regret it if you go. And some that didn't listen to me went, and they came back and said, Nick, you were right. I regret it that I went. Yeah, war is a money-making racket. Well, if you concentrate on this corporate greed, you're going to concentrate on ending war, because these corporations are making all this money. Take Halliburton, for instance. They make a lot of money building over in Iraq. So if you take the greed out of the corporations, you're going to take the war out of Iraq, which they're going to do, and out of Afghanistan. So you're right. If there was no money to be made in war, there'd be a whole lot less war.
Life in the camp right now is it's interesting from a day-to-day basis. We work together a lot to get these movements and actions that you see us doing on live stream. That's the website that we have right now to watch all of our live shows. Our GA we film, our morning needs we film. If there's any upcoming actions, you can go to www.facebook.com/Occupy Pittsburgh, as well as to watch our live streams. You can go to occupystreams.com, or you can go to www.livestreams.com/Occupy Pittsburgh. And we try to live stream regularly to let people know about what we're doing in the camp. I just now had to fix my tent.
I'm just going to back up to get
yeah. We rely heavily on donations. This tent and a lot of tents here were donated to us and by some generous people out in the community, and some of them don't have all the poles, or some of them do, and then they get lost. But we just had to fix it. We have had some people coming down for weatherization to help, get people to help get people set up for the winter. To help people combat the winter as much as possible. It gets rainy. It gets, we had some snow about a week ago. We have our we have our conflicts within camp, like any other community that lives in close-knit quarters does. But what's so good about our community is we work through our differences through mediation groups. And if you have a conflict with someone, we now go to a neutral party that will sit down and listen to both sides, and we will come up with the resolution that both sides can agree on, so that way we don't destroy this movement, that we can still be productive as possible as we can for this movement. And I mean, we exercise the good neighbor policy a lot. We pick up our trash. We have recycling centers. We have a kitchen tent here where all of us go to eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we sit and we talk and mingle. And I mean, it's just been a really good experience for me and my wife, as well as a lot of people. A lot of people here, this is their first demonstrations. This is their first activist movement that they've ever been in. And surprisingly well, we have a diverse group. We have vets here like myself and a couple of other people. We have people from Greenpeace. You got people from...
you're a veteran?
Yes. And you got people from an environmental rights movements. You got people here in this Occupy from all different types of walks of life, whether they be, straight or gay or whatever. We all work as a cohesive whole in this camp to stay solid, to stand in solidarity with each other, back each other up, and to be as effective as we can for our marches, so that way we can get the goals, because we're all working towards the same goal here, which is the corporate greed. We are working to get the wrongs that these corporations have done against us made right, and more jobs coming back out to the community, and the laborers like us. And so if we have contentions within our camp, we neutralize them as quickly as we can, as effectively as we can, and so that way we can get back to the cause at hand, which is fighting these corporations and their greedy thieving of our pensions and health care and everything else. So I encourage a lot of people to come down, talk to a lot of us occupiers. Some people have a negative look at us that, oh, well, we're just homeless, or we're just here to camp out, or, we don't know what we're talking about. But if you actually sit down and talk to a lot of us, you'll find that we are very, very intelligent, that we have a clear mind of why we are here, and we have specific, clear goals for ourselves that we want to achieve. And each and every individual person will have a different take, but as a whole, you will find that hardly any of us are illiterate whatsoever.
Do you have a favorite 1% greedy corporation?
That I like to protest?
Yeah.
UPMC and Bank of America.
Celeste Taylor, and I'm a part of Occupy Pittsburgh. I'm associated with the People of Color Working Group, and I've been occupying for a few days now, and I'll stay occupied down here at the site for a few more days, but definitely am supporting this movement for the long haul. Currently, I'm unemployed, and I know what it means to be a part of the 99% and understand that the 1%, in terms of the greed and corruption and just unfairness, we really have to deal with that. This site is symbolic, but it also requires that we're ambassadors, that we spread a message of revolution, of change. And that's what makes this exciting. I've done so many advocacy things related to voting rights and education and poverty and equity. But this gives me an opportunity to bear witness, and certainly that's keeping in line with my faith tradition as a Quaker. But as a black woman, a mother of 4 sons and 2 grandsons, and wanting the future to be a whole lot brighter than what I can see it can be now if we don't make change. So the idea of occupation is so powerful to me. I remember when the restaurants in the South had to be occupied because they did not treat black people fairly. The buses need to be occupied. There are so many things that need to be occupied so we can swing this pendulum towards justice.
Hello, my name is Harvey Holtz. I'm a retired professor of sociology from IUP, and I'm here at the Pittsburgh Occupation. It is this that I've been waiting for 36 years as I've been teaching students to be active and to create change. This is the new possibility, a new generation, and new things can come. It will manifest itself in different forms. If it comes down, it'll come up again. The dike has fingers in it, and every time we poke one, another comes out. So whatever happens here will reemerge and emerge and emerge until we transform this world. And capital is gone. Gone. There will be no more private ownership of the means of production. People will be productive together in ownership and democracy, creating the most wonderful things one can ever imagine. We will create a world that only humans can imagine. Thank you. Ultimately, we have little real humanity in capitalism. So many people are so alienated. They're not related to the environment. They don't understand how it can collapse. They don't relate to other people except in competition. But this is new. This is cooperation. This is people saying no more. This is people saying we're going to change the system. We're going to topple it, and we're going to replace it with something very new. What humans, again, ought to have. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad I'm still alive to see all this happening. And I'm a part of it as well.
All I know is I met the gentleman the other night, but this is kind of the sample of what we're looking at that we could build on our own. The plans are available. You can go online to get them. And the foam is this thick. It's about 1.5 inches thick. And it's really a simple design. And a lot of us can put these together. And it's like an igloo, basically.
And who's living in there?
Nobody right now.
Oh, really? So we can actually open the door and look inside?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Feel free.
Go ahead.
Oops.
What goes in? Oh, I see. So there's nobody in there.
No, we're going to probably use it for our media for the winter because it's waterproof.
Dow.
Yeah, well.
You know, we have to. There's always trade-offs, aren't there? It's
unfortunately.
Super tough insulation.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And I guess you can make it any size, huh? Or is this an optimum size?
This is one of the larger ones, from what I understand. So it's very clever, and
it's very lightweight.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, you can move it easily.
Yeah.
And all you do is use some sort of a tape to seam it.
It's the kind of tape you'd use on some packaging, which has these little
ribs on it.
Ribs on it. Yeah.
Strong.
Very strong. And it's windproof. So I mean.
Yeah.
It's a very solid structure. We're very grateful this gentleman did this for us.
Well, I'd love to see a geodesic dome out of that.
Oh, wouldn't that be? Well, over ours, we'll probably end up doing that because ours is dome-shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, my room tent mate and I both are handy, so we're going to put one together.
I ain't got no home, I'm just a roaming round. Just a wandering worker, I go from town to town. And the police make it hard wherever I may go. And I ain't got no home in this world anymore.